We'll go to St. Palm. He says, who is your sleeper contender? Not KC, not Cincinnati, not Buffalo in the AFC, and why?
Miami, because they have Vic Fangio. I think Vic Fangio is one of the best defensive minds in football. I think Mike McDaniel showed a lot of promise his first year. I think the Tua question is there. I think the Mike McDaniel, how can he respond when guys take away the middle of the field from him and get physical with his wide receivers question is there. But man, my first thought is just, I think the other one would be Jacksonville would be my other sleeper because I really think Doug Peterson's a great coach. And then, I mean, the other one, I don't see the Chargers doing it. I'm almost there, but every time I look, it's like, do I trust Brandon Staley to do
No,
it? And they always have this injury problem, and they won't fire that trainer that stabbed Tyrod Taylor for some reason.
that is wild to me. Somebody wanted to say that this stuff happens all the time, and I'm like, this stuff doesn't happen all the time.
No, we would hear about it. Come on. What, do other guys just play with a punctured lung?
Like, it's normal, and it's the NFL. You could go find a better trainer. Like, it's absolutely wild to me. So you're saying the Dolphins and the
Dolphins and
Jags.
Jaguars. Those are my two sleepers. They're not really deep sleepers or anything, but I'd take them over the Jets and Chargers, I think. Out of like the real deep sleeper is a team I don't believe in, but it would be the Broncos if somehow Russ can get it back. And I think Sean Payton's a good coach. So like
What?
that's the deep sleeper I don't think happens. But out of all the teams that probably have, I don't know, like a 7-8 win total from Vegas, that might be the one I'd pick. But yeah, my actual sleepers, other than Buffalo, Kansas City, would be Jacksonville, Miami. I think I'd pick them over the Jets and Chargers. I think are the other two real contenders.
Okay, so I actually want to continue this conversation. I think it is a great question because we do hear about Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Buffalo, who outside. And I know a lot of people can look at the AFC East. And I think the Dolphins would be the number one sleeper pick if everything can work out. I love their head coach. Their defense should be legit. They have legit
Jalen
receivers.
Ramsey.
I mean, it should be good. But I'm going to add my team, and you're going to be a little surprised. And we'll get to more of your doubleheader questions.
Ooh, the
But we're
Raiders.
I'm not even going to say the Raiders. Next on It's Always Game Day in Cincinnati. We are back on It's Always Game Day in Cincinnati. We're taking this question to the next segment because I really do like it. And you pretty much named all of the AFC when you were talking about your sleepers. You said Miami, you said the Jags, you threw in the Raiders. Maybe the Broncos can do it.
I was joking about the Raiders. That was a complete joke. I think the Raiders are the worst team in the AFC, other than maybe like the Texans.
Honestly, no. I agree with all your picks. I think they're good. I have like disclaimers before I say mine. I have one, and I want
Bengals. Go
Bengals.
with the Steelers. I already know.
I am totally going with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think the Ravens are the Steelers. I'm more nervous about them.
I am here to say, look, I know how Bengals fans feel about the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I've said it already. I think they finished second in the AFC North. I think they have less to figure out when it comes to the other AFC North teams. Mike Tomlin is going to get something out of his team. I like their defense. Kenny Pickett year 2, who knows what that's going to look like. They do have weapons. Najee Harris, we'll see what happens when it comes to running the football. But I just feel like they have less to figure out. And I think that would be my sleeper team that isn't a popular pick right now because I think a lot of people are focused on the hot teams in the AFC East. The New York Jets, of course, you got Aaron Rodgers over there. The Miami Dolphins, look, they flopped a little bit last year, and then Tua had his concussions, unfortunately, and hopefully he can stay healthy going into the season. But overall, I think it's just one of those picks that a lot of people they're not talking about, and I feel like they can be. I mean, they're always going to be some kind of threat. Getting over 500 is something Mike Tomlin's going to be able to do with whatever he has out there. He's had less talent before, and he's done more. So yeah, I would say the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ravens like the Chargers. I don't know what it is about their trainers, and they're always injured. I don't get it. Whether that's voodoo, luck, it could just be luck. But it feels like every year, right? Like by the week 17, they're always starting some guy off the street at some position. I don't know why. The Bengals aren't doing that every year. The Chargers and Ravens seem to be. So I don't know. That's probably just anecdotal luck. They're going to both be healthy this year, and I'll look stupid. But to me, the Ravens are the big contender just because in the AFC North, because I'm a big I'm not going to say fan, but I do think Lamar Jackson is very good, and I think
Yes.
he's difficult to game plan against. I think Leonard was actually a fantastic job in that regard. Mike McDonald has also done a really good job as defensive coordinator. I think
Mhm.
that deserves to be said. He did a good job against the Bengals in that game. I think the Bengals will hopefully have answers this year to what he has tried to do to them. But my first thought is just like they've had the Bengals specifically have had way worse problems with the Ravens than they have the Steelers, other than Week 1.
Sure.
But look, I don't know. Maybe it's bias. Maybe it's something. I almost throw that Week 1 game out. There was so much going on. It was a Mitch Trubisky game. It went to overtime. The Bengals should have won twice, but they didn't have their long snapper. I'm sure the Steelers think the opposite. Like, nah, those are excuses, and they are. But
They are. They are.
but when I look at how the Ravens beat the Bengals, I'm like, it feels more legitimate. It was, it was after, it was when the offense changed. It was them doing a really good job on offense and defense, and not just
You're right.
defense, because the Steelers defense always plays really well, but the Ravens offense complements their defensive plays. So I don't know. Maybe I'll look stupid. I think this is our one disagreement: is who is the biggest contender AFC North. I'm Ravens, and you are Steelers, and nobody is Browns. So
And that,
let's hope it
as long
stays
as the
that
Browns
way, because
finish
that would be my
last,
least favorite.
as long as the Browns finish last, I think I could be very happy with how this AFC standing goes. Obviously, Cincinnati at 1, but there's nothing I can totally see it with the Baltimore Ravens. I've said it before. That was the best defense the Bengals were going to face in the playoffs, and facing them back to back weeks was absolutely terrifying to me. I hated the matchup. I wasn't a huge fan of it when I found out they were going to play the Baltimore Ravens in the following week, and everybody watched that defense, and it's still going to be legit going into this year. And then obviously Lamar Jackson is still a really great quarterback. So, yes, the Baltimore Ravens will still be a threat, and it's just unfortunate that I don't know what's unfortunate. I just the AFC North. If the Bengals could just play in the AFC West, I would take that in a heartbeat, wouldn't you?
Oh, the AFC South would be the best one, right? The Jaguars have such an easy. I assume playing Mike Vrabel's never fun, but two rookie quarterbacks and not great teams in the Colts and Texans, great. Give me that.
I mean, but the AFC South is off limits. So you can't choose that one.
It's only ever allowed one good team.
You have to choose between the AFC West or the AFC North. Which one would you want to play in?
West.
Easily, right?
There's not a team like the Raiders in the North.
It's true. And I mean, the Broncos have a legit defense, but I still don't believe in Russ. So
I
I
don't
think,
either. They're the deep sleeper because I don't believe in them, but I could see how it works.
man, I can't even remember who sent this question, but you really took up about 6 to 7 minutes. So we really appreciate you.